Welcome back. Well, you're still watching SA Today. We get back to that discussion that we were having just before that break. And of course, we go back to that one around the Jacob Zuma Foundation saying legal representatives of the former president will proceed with a private prosecution of Advocate Billy Downer. We're joined by legal expert Benedict Phiri for analysis. Let's hope that works this time. Benedict, a good afternoon to you. Your initial thoughts when you heard that announcement?
I thought it was to be expected. When we found out last year that the former president had complained that Advocate Billy Downer had shared his medical details with a journalist. The complaint was really that was in breach of the National Prosecuting Act, and therefore he laid criminal charges against Advocate Billy Downer. And we knew that the former president would go the route of a private prosecution if the National Prosecuting Authority refused to prosecute, which is what has happened in this case. It obviously fits into his overall strategy in trying to have Advocate Billy Downer removed from this particular matter, or rather not play a role in his prosecution. So this is to be expected and has been threatened for a while.
Yeah, just talk to me about the technicalities of how a private prosecution actually would work and how it differs from a public prosecution that would take place. And just a little bit about whether or not you see some sort of success here for the former president.
So in terms of the law, if the National Prosecuting Authority refuses to prosecute a crime, a victim of that crime or someone who has actually suffered harm as a result of that crime may then prosecute the matter privately. Obviously, there are a few requirements that have to be met, including the fact that you must be able to demonstrate the harm to you as a victim of the crime. They may be required to furnish security for the costs of the prosecution, which wouldn't necessarily be the case in a normal public prosecution. And in this particular instance, the complaint is that Advocate Billy Downer contravened the National Prosecuting Act, which basically provides that he's not allowed to disclose any information that comes to him as a result of him conducting his duties to anybody, except in the course of conducting those duties. So that is the complaint, which attracts a criminal sanction of, I think, up to 15 years. So it's quite a serious allegation that is being put to him. And we know why that the former president would want to make sure that is tested within the courts in this context.
Yeah, is this another delay tactic from the former president, Benedict?
I think certainly we will see that the basis is being laid for an argument that if the lead prosecutor on this particular matter is facing criminal charges, it won't be proper for him to continue prosecuting this matter, because his independence and impartiality and his ability to actually just conduct the matter for the benefit of the court will be compromised. So I think we are seeing the basis of that kind of argument being laid. The moment this private prosecution gets underway, I think we can expect the former president's legal team to advance those type of arguments around this court process.
Yeah, and if it is successful, what is it likely to do to the main case?
Well, it's going to be a while before the matter proceeds through the courts. We do know that the former president has a period of 3 months within which to bring this private prosecution. He said that his lawyers are at an advanced stage and it won't take him 3 months. And in this particular instance, he has an interest in expediting the process. But, given how the courts work and how slow we know the wheels of justice grind, assuming that the former president doesn't appeal to the Constitutional Court on his special plea, then, in all likelihood, the matter will progress before this private prosecution actually makes its way in front of a judge. But that's, of course, assuming that the former president doesn't appeal to the Constitutional Court on a special plea.
Yeah. So a long road ahead still, but let's leave it there. Benedict, thank you so much for speaking to us, legal expert there, Benedict Phiri.